It's Brutungo, and we're here today with pre-order pickup. I got my 4 Build-A-Figs for Jonah Hex, and I also got my Doomslayer and my Lilith, the number 1 and number 2 Mcfarlane Elite figures, the first 2. But before we get into those, Comic-Con is going on right now, and Mcfarlane did have his reveal, and I think we are seeing pretty much the end of the DC multiverse line, because there was next to nothing new there. Everything he showed off, except for the Obsidian figure, we already knew about. We knew about the Wonder Woman Godzilla that was coming. We finally got to see what the Wonder Woman looks like. That we knew the Deathstroke was going to be coming, but we finally got to see the Platinum of it. And we got to see the new crowdfund that's going on, and will be going on as of this recording and when I post this. And I do have a thing in on that. I'm only going up to the tier with Batman and the Bat Signal because I want the Bat Signal. That's it. And then we got to see the other Batmobile from The Batman. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we might be getting a new The Batman figure, because I thought the figures that came out all had molded capes, but the one posed with the Batmobile has a cloth cape. And I don't know if there was one before. I've never seen a cloth caped Batman from The Batman. Maybe there was one, I missed out on it. But yeah, I'm not sure about that. But that's it. Didn't show anything else that was new from what I could tell. Everything else we either knew about or he has revealed at other times. The one thing I did not see, though, was the Batman Returns wave. I didn't see the DeVito Penguin or the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Maybe he's waiting to reveal that later. Maybe he revealed that later in the show, later in the day, and I missed it. I haven't seen it yet. But that's the one thing that I'm like, where is it? On top of that, he only has the license until April of 2026. That's it. That's when it expires. So even though Mcfarlane is able to produce and release things in like a 2 to 3 month window, he has other licenses he's working on now. Like, for example, the Ninja Turtles and Fallout. He showed more of that stuff. The Turtles actually look pretty good. They look like a cross between the first Nickelodeon CGI series and the second Nickelodeon CGI series. Like, they took the design from both of those and smushed them together. We got to see McFarlane version of Shredder and a Foot Soldier. So that was pretty cool. And but he's got other licenses he's working on. He will probably have more licenses that he's going to work on. And even with McFarlane, he's probably got like a 3-month window from conception to on the store shelf. And we got 10 months, guys. We got 10 months. That's 3 waves at most that he can come up with. And aside from, like, you know, repaints, reissues, you know, a frozen version, a patina version, those are easy for him to do because he's already got the molds. I don't think he's going to want to invest in molds that he can only use for one figure, and then he's never going to be able to use those molds again. That's a cost I don't think he wants to do, when he could just make molds for newer licenses he has and start going that route. That's just my opinion on all that. I think we're seeing the end of the DC. I do not think we're going to see a whole lot more than what he showed at San Diego. I still hope we get the Batman Returns wave. But aside from that, I think we're going to get trickles. I don't think we're going to get these massive releases of DC Multiverse anymore, unless it's a bunch of repaints, a bunch of reused parts. Like even that Wonder Woman that comes with Godzilla, it's a new head, but the body looks like it's a bunch of reused parts and pieces. So I wouldn't hold my breath for anything too new at this point. But yeah, like even they showed Bones. They showed Mr. Bones, Dr. Bones. I forgot the guy's name. Anyway, they say we are going to get a Batman. There's a rumor we're getting a Black Mask, but it's going to be Black Mask as Batman. I'll bet money that it's just that skeleton head painted black on top of a Batman body. They'll probably throw it on Hush Batman like they have 100 times before. Or, you know, the Bullseye Batman body with a repaint. But anyway, let's get into these. So, we have the Batman here, which has a nice cloth cape, so he'll go nice in the Batmobile. And he comes with his accessories, hand holding the gun by itself, a few other hands, and Jonah Hex's arms. and he's not too bad there. And then you got the picture on the side, and Jonah Hex on the back. And classic Batman. And you guys want to see the bottom. There is the thing. Then we have Ra's al Ghul. And this one, if it wasn't for the two things, Jonah Hex, of course, body parts. I got Hobbs peeking up. Hello, Mr. Hobbs. He is a big kitty. And then we got, because he comes with Jonah Hex's body parts, his legs specifically, but he also comes with this nice helmet. So I think that's really cool. And he's got this full-length cape that is sort of going to help hold him up. And then there's the picture on the side. And Jonah Hex on the back with the legs. The other side. And there is your QR. And let's zoom this out. It's really zoomed in. I don't like it being zoomed in. And then we have the Gray Ghost, which I would have gotten this guy no matter what. I don't know if they've ever done this figure before, but pretty neat character. He's got his race car and a few other accessories. Comes with a gun. Comes with Jonah Hex's body. You kind of need that. The Gray Ghost. And the Jonah Hex again. The Gray Ghost on the side there. And then, of course, there's your QR. And we got the Platinum for Killer Croc. The normal Croc is green. Or gray, sorry, gray. But this one is green. He's just slightly green, which I think is kind of cool because Croc is normally just, depicted as being green. So, and this has Jonah Hex's guns, his head, and his knife. So there you go. You got Killer Croc with a couple pistols. Oh, and he fell over. There we go, Jonah Hex. There's Croc on the side. Gray, like I said. You can kind of see, if you look at that, it's gray. He's green. You can kind of, at the angle there, see how he's not really gray. It's a really subtle green, but there you go. QR. And we are going to pop these open, and we are going to take a look at Jonah Hex fully assembled. All right, so there we go. We got him all built, and he has your standard sort of Mcfarlane articulation with the ball joint on the head, the like dumbbell, where it's a ball joint in the bottom and a ball joint at the top. And he has this nice rubbery sort of cloak, trench, duster, whatever you want to call it. Comes with his 2 pistols and 2 trigger hands. He doesn't come with any other hands. And he has his, like I said, normal Mcfarlane articulation. You got the hinge ball joint sort of wrist. It's not ankle, it's a wrist. You got, the twisty of the arm. You don't have the bicep twist though on this one, but you do have the full up and down and ball joint in the shoulder, and then you have the twist at the elbow. You have your elbow rotation and your elbow hinge, and then you got the standard ankle joints and knee joint and hip joint. And then he has a holster on his hip, and he does come with his knife, and his knife does go in his holster, which I can't really get with one hand, but it does slide in there. Now we got Ceres up here on the table. But his knife will fit in the holster. This cape is a really thick cape. I keep saying cape. It's a trench. It's a duster, but his gun will fit in it too. It's kind of a weird holster. Like, it's got a groove in the far back of it. I can't even see it too well because this thing is really thick. But there's a groove in the back of it. And then you see the bottom is open. So it will fit a gun, but his knife can go in there as well. It's actually really oversized even for his gun. So his gun will fit in there neatly if you want. I will probably put the knife in there though, since he has 2 trigger hands. But he's not too bad looking. Animated Jonah Hex. He looks pretty good. He looks almost more like a Scooby-Doo villain than he does a DC character, but oh well. Good old Jonah Hex. There he is. So now that's it for the Jonah Hex wave. Now we have the Elite, Mcfarlane Elite #1, which is the Doom Slayer. from Doom Dark Ages. There is the QR, and he is big and mighty with his big mighty weapons, alternate hands, his shield. There's the side picture, Doomslayer #1, Doom the Dark Ages. There's artwork on the back, and then Elite Edition. And we are going to open him up and take a look at him in a second here. And then we also have Lilith from Diablo 4, and she looks pretty good. Cheshire has the Lilith, the Figma Lilith, pre-ordered, and it's supposed to come out in a couple months. And we will do a comparison of this Lilith and that Lilith when it comes out. There's the Diablo skull at the bottom. And then there's the Lilith artwork on the side of the box, on the back of the box. And then it says edition. And then this, of course, is #2. And there is your QR for anyone that wants that sort of information. So we're going to crack these open and take a look at them. Alrighty. So here he is, good old Dark Ages Doomslayer. And he's right out of the box. Comes with a base. Mcfarlane base, says Doom. I do have a Mcfarlane Doom figure already. I have the glow-in-the-dark classic Doomslayer. Comes with the gun that has a big old skull in it. And I don't know the name of the guns. I have not actually played Dark Ages yet. I have too many other things I am playing, so I have not gotten to it. It is free if you have Game Pass on your old Xbox. There's a boomstick. This one, I don't know if this one looks as cool as the one with the glow-in-the-dark, but I mean, I guess they were different versions, so like in the games they probably look different, so that is probably why this one looks different. It's not too bad looking. And he comes with this mace and chain, which is pretty cool. It's got a real chain on it, so it's all spiky. And then he comes with 2 hands, only 2 hands. Comes with this open hand, like he's going to grab something or grabbing something. And then he comes with a mighty Doom fist, I guess. The spikes sticking out of his knuckles. So yeah, so there you go. That is all it comes with. And then of course the shield. The shield is just a solid mold. It doesn't spin on the edges or anything. It doesn't do anything fancy. Even the handle on the inside does not move. It's just molded rubber. So I'm a little unimpressed with the shield. It would have been nice if at least the outside could do something. But, I mean, it's not bad. It looks good. It looks all right. Doomslayer, though, is his gun on his back. First, he's got this really nice cape. This cape is actually really nice. It's really nice and soft. See the underside of it. It's just the inside of the material. But it's a really nice cape. It is already like got floofs coming off the edges of it though, so I kind of worry about that. But the gun isn't articulate at all, really. I mean, it can come off, I guess. Thankfully, it came off. It didn't break off. Yeah, so I guess it just pops in and out. But there's no articulation to the gun at all. It looks like there is, but I mean, I can't get it. I can get it to rotate a little bit, I think. I don't want to break it. He's really stiff. All of his joints are really stiff. Yeah, that's just molded. It doesn't move. The other Doomslayer, the glow-in-the-dark Doomslayer, he has a shoulder cannon too, but that thing is really articulate. And I'm going to grab him at the end of this so I can show like the huge difference between this just molded plastic and that. But yeah, it comes out, so it's not a big deal. His shoulder pads, unlike other Mcfarlanes, where the shoulder pads are like movable, his aren't movable. They're just molded and stuck in place. And he's really stiff. Like he is the stiffest Mcfarlane figure I have ever gotten, and I really worry about some of his joints because his one foot is kind of pigeon-toed. He's not standing exactly straight. He does stand really well without a base, but I really worry about moving this guy too much. He does have an actual chain on the side. He has chain mail on him. He's really shiny. He's got really reflective metal pieces painted on him. He's a good sculpt. He's a good looking figure, but yeah, it's going to take some while to get him moving. He's really, really stiff. So I am going to go grab. Hello, Sylvanas. Now I got Sylvanas over here. Geez, we got the cat cavalry here today. Hello, Sylvie. Hello, Sylvie. There's little Sylvanas causing troubles. And if you look under his cape, we already showed there's the hole where the gun can go, and then he's got really good detail. I would say he's got more detail than what you would find on your standard DC multiverse. He does have like if you can see, he's got all these little bitty pieces of metal that are painted. He's got, he's really good looking. Honestly, he's got a lot of detail. Which, I mean, I guess if he's an elite, they're gonna call him an elite. Then he should have all these little points of detail instead of just being glossed over in certain areas. Like a lot of McFarlane stuff is like that. We won't get as much detail in the figures as they could give us, but they're McFarlane are cheap. Like, and I don't mean they're cheap like Todd McFarlane's cheap. I mean the figures are cheap, and they're produced super fast. So you get what you pay for, basically. It's a benefit, and it's also a drawback. You get reused pieces. You don't get the greatest detail in the pieces because they're manufactured very quickly and released very quickly. So quantity takes the cake while quality takes a hit. So there you go. But he's okay. I think he looks really good. I'm going to have to mess around with him to see if I can get him to actually move, because I do not want to break it. I have very few figures that have broken, and I do not want to have. I haven't had any of my McFarlane figures break, except for one that fell off a shelf, and its neck broke. But that was like a fall. That wasn't articulation. So we're gonna mess with him a bit, and then we're still gonna pop open Lilith. Okay, so I did get him to pose. He has some limited articulation in the feet. His feet aren't as posable as like a DC McFarlane, and yeah, he's still kind of stiff, but he's all right. And I don't like the bicep joint, the bicep rotation or elbow rotation. The bicep cuts in and overhangs the forearm, so like you can't really bend the arm once you bring up. Yeah, you can't bend the arm because of how much of the bicep overhangs the forearm. So it's yeah, it's okay. Like, he can't really raise the shield in a very good position because that elbow just doesn't bend very high because of the way the elbow is designed, which is pretty bad. Like I said, his back cannon, his shoulder cannon, is not articulated. Here we have the glow in the dark McFarlane Classic Doom, and this is what I mean by the shotgun. That is his shotgun. This is the elite shotgun. You kind of see. I mean, this one does look better, but this one is like massive in comparison. But like I said, it's probably a correlation to the games. He also has his arm blade. I don't know if the new guy has an arm blade, but here's what I mean by articulation. This thing can bend up and down, and it can also, I thought it could move more than that, but yeah, it can also rotate. And the other one doesn't. I mean, I guess the other one can kind of rotate because it's in a joint, but I don't know, it just doesn't work as well. But yeah, this one is actually articulated somewhat, and this one is not articulated at all, and I feel like that's a major step backwards because, I mean, who's not going to want to try and aim this thing at something? Oh, wait, is it moving, or did I knock it loose? I felt like it moved, but yeah, okay, so it can rotate a little bit, unless I'm just popping it out. Now, it has like a little bit of rotation, I guess, but this rotates. It just feels like it's spinning. It doesn't go up and down. I don't know. And once again, it feels really stiff, so maybe it's not supposed to rotate, and I'm just breaking it. But this one does have an up and down, and because it can go, left and right on his back, you get more rotation on it. But anyway, yeah, so that's the difference. This is like a $70 figure Canadian. and this is a $40 figure Canadian. So there's the difference. He is bigger. You can see him on this base is still what looks like a little bit shorter. So he is a beefy McFarlane figure. And his accessories, he comes with more accessories. It would have been nice if he would have come with at least another pair of hands, or, you know, something else for being an elite figure. I don't feel like he came with enough, but he does have the cloth cape and stuff. It's a good figure. I just don't know if it's elite, you know. I don't know if it's what I would consider an elite figure when you look at other McFarlane stuff. Like, I feel he's more like on par with a collector edition. Although, to be honest, some of the collector's editions we've been getting recently seem kind of like, why is this a collector's edition? This is like a normal figure. It comes with like no extra hands or two hands and one face. And it's like normal figures have come with that sort of stuff. Sylvia agrees. See, she agrees. But anyway, let's open up Lilith. Alrighty, so we have Lilith out of the package, but we're not going to fully assemble her yet because I want to point out a couple things. I also didn't show, here's the Doomslayer card right there. You'll see the back. There is the back. It's a nice looking card, nice and gold, you know, filigree on it sort of thing. But there you go. And then, of course, Lilith came with this card, the Elite. And that is what the back of her card says. And they did come with these. These are the new things. 50 points. This wasn't scratched off. I got 50 for both. And the way these work is they're in the box like this, so you can't tell what they are. And they can be different tiers. And apparently there are rare tiers where you can get like artist-proof versions. And I don't know. It's another gimmick. It's just a gimmick. And then it's worth 50 points. So you scratch it off. You go onto the Mcfarlane Toy Store and you can redeem your points and you get enough. It's like kind of like the Lego VIP, or I don't think it's called VIP anymore for Lego, but anyway, it's like that sort of stuff. Club Nintendo, all that sort of thing. It's neat. It's nice that, you know, you get a little extra something, but yeah, that's all it is. And I only got 50 points for each. I didn't get anything special. So the one thing I want to say about this Lilith is when I think about a elite figure, this is what I think. This is what I think of. So first of all, she was packaged really well. She had the double layer blister packing like what NECA does with a lot of their figures. She comes with 3 alternate face plates. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3. That's what they look like. Get my shadow out of the way. So they're pretty good. And she comes with a bunch of alternate hands, fists and grippy fingers and a trigger finger, because it wouldn't be a McFarlane toy without a trigger finger, right? Plus then, you know, we can put Lilith in COD. And then we get this here. I'm not going to pull this out of the wrapper because I don't intend to use it. But it is a nice pleather. I thought it'd be like just paper, but to me this feels like a pleather or a plastic. It is not just a paper, which is nice. And there, so you can make the rose petals and put them under Lilith. So it's a nice feature that is in there. And then we see they like even put plastic around her feet here to protect her from the cloth goods. And she is all cloth goods. This is all cloth goods. This is cloth goods. Her sleeves are cloth goods. So I'm really impressed by how much of her is actually cloth instead of molded plastic. And then she comes with these gigantic wings that we are going to attach. They do not come attached. They come in the behind her, kind of folded like that. They're laying on top of each other. So they are much bigger out of the package than they look in the package. And we got one of the things that I think McFarlane does best, honestly, his flight bases. I wish more figures came with these flight bases. There are more figures that should, especially in the DC multiverse. More figures should come with this. But I wish you could he sold those by themselves. And if he does, let me know, because I would buy a gross of those things, because I think his stands, these flight bases, are some of the best flight bases for bigger figures. They hold them really well, and I really like them, and I wish we could get them separate. And then she comes with Diablo's skull. There it is, Diablo's skull. which is pretty dang cool. And it's a fully molded, it's not rubber. I mean, it might be rubber, but it's hard. Feels more to me like a hard plastic than a rubber, but that is really cool. And yeah, so let's get her assembled. All right, so there she is without her wings attached, because I feel like once we attach those wings, she is not going to stand. Her one ankle is pretty loose, but aside from that, I also have to take this band off her head. I haven't taken that off yet. She still has a one of the packing straps on her head. It's to keep her faceplate on, I do believe. But I had to remove her upper torso to get the plastic off of her legs, because it was actually like taped. It was like, actually, it's taped. It's sticky. So yeah, I had to actually pop her torso off. So it came off in like 4 pieces. We had her legs, her cloth skirt, this piece here. Oh, I didn't mean to knock her over. This piece here, which is just like plasticky, rubbery, and then her actual upper torso. Her tail, unfortunately, is not articulated. It is just rubber. I don't think it's even got a wire in it or anything. Yeah, no, it's just going to lay there, which is kind of unfortunate. Mcfarlane could have done like, you know, a wire or something. Because if he can do the wire capes, I don't know why he couldn't just run a wire through the center of that, and, you know, would have had some articulation. But so far, that's the only thing with this figure that I am... She's not going to stand too well, because I haven't taken the time to really pose her. And I don't think that matters anyway, because once you put these are like solid plastic. There's no articulation in them either, which is kind of sad. Like, they're not going to open anymore. They're not going to close anymore. But you can see on her back, and that's also why I didn't attach them yet, there are ball joints on her back. So once we get them on, they will have a lot of range, similar to like the NECA gargoyles. So it's not a bad thing. It's not too bad that they don't move too much. It's going to be all right. But I am disappointed with the tail. And so far, that's my only complaint with her. She's going to be back heavy. Like, there's no denying it. I'm going to try and get her to stand after we pop the wings on, but I do not think she's going to stand without a base. So, yeah, these wings are a pain in the ace. I thought I broke mine for a second. You can see the joint right there. The hinge actually separated, and the wings are on super tight, so I'm going to have to fix that, and then I'll get her positioned. All right, so I got her wing fixed. What happened is the ball joint that the wing goes into for mine isn't... Hobbs, you can't play with scissors, bro. Get out of here. Hobbs trying to get in trouble. There she is holding Diablo. But, yeah, my ball joint that the wing slides into wasn't completely attached. Like, it's not clicked in. What are you doing? Hobbs is getting in trouble. Bro! Alright, well, now that Hobbs is done destroying everything. There she is standing. She doesn't need the flight base because her wings are long enough that they touch the ground if you want to lean her on her wings. And then I just have that rested on her hands. She's not actually holding it. That's one of her alternate faces. But just like with Doomslayer, she has a lot of detail on her. Her articulation, like I said, the tail has no articulation. The wings articulation is pretty much garbage. They can flap forward and back. I don't think they even rotate in a circle because mine won't. So if they do, mine are busted. They don't rotate. And her waist, I had to take it apart to get the stuff off, and now it doesn't want to stay together. So I don't know. Maybe I wasn't supposed to pop her apart. I mean, most Mcfarlane's, you know, they all work on the Build-A-Fig formula for the most part, so you can pop them. Pop parts out, pop parts in, hands, heads, other stuff, arms, legs, torsos. But there we go. That is Lilith. We'll spin her around here. You can see a side profile of her. And then we will look at the back with the wings in. And they are massive, massive wings. And like I said, no tail articulation. That's the biggest gripe I have about this figure. Well, that and that, you know, my one wing joint is not working. It broke. It didn't break. I don't want to say it broke because I was able to put it back together. It's not broken. say it's broke, and then it's very misleading. People think, well, that figure breaks, but the joint did come apart on me trying to put the wing at a proper angle. So there you go. There's her little tapestry thingy. She has a lot of detail to her. She looks pretty good. Now I can't wait to see when Cheshire's Figma Lilith comes in, though, because I do know that one is bigger than this one. I know that for a fact. And I know that it has tail articulation. We've seen it. I think the wings also have articulation, so it'll be interesting to see the difference. Of course, this is a $70 Canadian figure, and the Figma Lilith is like $100 and something. So there's, you know, major discrepancy in price there as well. So you would expect more from a more expensive figure. You know, I don't expect Hot Toys quality from Mcfarlane, because you're not paying Hot Toy prices from Mcfarlane. So that's it. But anyway, that's it. And we'll put them number 1 and number 2 next to each other. Those are Mcfarlane's first 2 elites. And we know the next elite is supposed to be the armor from Fallout. The suit. The power suit. But that is it for this time. Went on a bit longer than I thought I was going to go, but you know, I wanted to get a good look at these first 2 elites, so we knew what we were getting, so we know what is in store for the elites down the road. I don't know. If they're figures I really like these 2 figures I really wanted and really liked because the games they come from, the franchises they come from. But I don't know if I'll be, you know, jumping on the power suit, and I don't know if I'll be jumping into other elites further down the line. I just don't know if the boosted price point is worth what you get compared to the price point of like a standard Mcfarlane or a collector's edition Mcfarlane, which is like $40. These are almost double that price, and I don't think we're getting double the figure. I just don't feel that way. That's my opinion. I'm sure other people feel differently. But like I said, I won't mind spending it if it's a character I actually want, like these 2. They're done well enough that I don't regret buying them. But I wouldn't run out and buy, you know, I'm not going to try and collect every elite figure just because it's one of the elite figures. And I'm definitely not going to be buying elite figures in the hopes that I get like a legendary elite points card or something. I'm not doing none of that BS. I'm not doing, you know, let's use these like loot boxes hoping we get a rare print. That's never going to happen. But anyway, that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. So long.